What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 111. And today we're going to talk about 2024 win totals for every Major League Baseball team, as well as the four major award candidates for 2024's season. With me, as always, this preseason, Jason Ashby. Jason, how you feeling tonight, my friend?
I'm feeling fantastic. We are drafting a week from today, which is just absolutely incredible. Uh, I am psyched. I'm ready to go. But the season's starting right around the corner. So yeah, let's get this going.
And something we have undersold so far this preseason, but I get the feeling like we're going to hear about it quite a bit tomorrow on State of the Bigs. That's right, tomorrow on State of the Bigs, Ben Nisman will be returning to the show and addressing the league as commissioner. And we'll be going over the record book, I believe. So we'll be doing two and one. Two and
Nice,
one.
nice.
Yes. Yes. All right. Let's get this thing underway here. The National League is where we're going to start. Now, last year, I'll start with the Braves, who won the National League East. They everybody had them over, except for Benji, who had them under 94 and a half wins. Everybody had them winning the division. This year, the number sits at 101 and a half. And last year's total was 104. So Jason Ashby over or under on the Braves, 101 and a half.
And I mean, it's mostly the same team.
Mm-hmm.
From the nuts and bolts of it are the same guys. And they added Chris Sale.
They added
So
Chris Sale. That's the big move.
yeah.
And
So
Jared Kalenic, I guess.
yeah, okay. Instead of like Eddie Rosario.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be over, right?
Yeah, I think I tend to take the over as well. Frank Bucco already answered these for us, so I have his answers as we go. He also, of course, has the over, and he's slam dunking the over. He's thinking like 105, 106 wins this year. So okay, I suppose I do have them winning the division, of course. We'll
Yeah.
move on to our New York Metropolitans, who last year their over under sat at 91 and a half. I and Benjamin had the under. They, of course, fell way under, only winning 75 games last year. The number sits at 80 and a half this year. Are they a 500 baseball team or are they an under 500 baseball team, Jason?
They are over a 500 team. Look, they're not going to be great. They're not going to win 90 games. They're not going to win the division. But I know New York Mets fans specifically don't always like the moves that they made this offseason, but I understand it, and I trust in David Stearns. They're looking really good in the spring. They're definitely over 500 team.
I've got the under. The pitching
Really?
staff is in shambles. The pitching staff is in shambles, man. We're relying on Sean Manaea and Luis Severino to get us through this season. Oh man, it's going to be a long year in Queens. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this. If we won 75 games last year, like we could certainly repeat that and win 75 games this year and miss the playoffs again.
I I I like them. Like again, I don't think they're a great team, but I think they're going to be good enough.
Do you have them making the playoffs?
I have them like they could sneak into the third wild card.
Okay.
That's the only way is by sneaking in. But I don't
So
think
they'll be having meaningful games in September is what you're saying.
I think so. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
definitely more so than like the Marlins and the Nationals. That's for sure. They ain't gonna finish last in the division.
Okay. We'll go to the Philadelphia Phillies here. Last year, the Phillies over under was 88 and a half, and they did in fact go over, winning 90 games. Now this year it's 89 and a half. So will they repeat a 90 win season or not, Jason?
Again, they're mostly the same group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really change much. Like the lineup is exactly the same from 1 to 9. They
Yeah,
added Whit
Whit
Merrifield.
Merrifield is the addition this year.
Right. They lost Craig Kimbrell at the back end, but they still have Jose Alvarado, amongst other guys that are really good. Yeah, I think they win at least 90 games.
Okay. I actually do have them going over as well. I think they're going to be the first wild card in the National League. I think they're the strongest team that's going to come out of the National League other than the division winners.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Miami Marlins. Last year, their over under set quite interestingly at 76 and a half. And they ended up winning 84 games and making the playoffs. This year, they get a little bit more respect and they get 77 and a half as the number. Jason?
No, I don't think so. I know what they did last year was fun, but there's nothing on this team that says, yeah, this is a playoff caliber team. I don't see it. Avisel Garcia is still in the lineup. Like Tim Anderson, I don't know what to make of him. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the pitching is good, but like we said on the starting pitching show, other than Luzardo, I feel like everybody else in this rotation is a big question mark as far as either injuries or lack of any kind of a track record.
Yeah,
So
and Edward Cabrera, one kid they were going to be relying on, he's going to start the season on the IL with a shoulder injury.
of
So,
course he is.
yeah, there you go.
Tanner Scott is their closer. No, this team's not winning 75 games.
Okay. I'll it's one of those numbers that I really kind of understand where it's at. Like if they have 77 wins, I could totally see that.
Okay, the number 77. I still
77
think
and
it's
a
under,
half,
but
yeah.
maybe they win 75, but like it'll be close to that 77, but I don't think they're a
Okay.
playoff team.
Yeah. Well, if they're only a 77 win ball club, then they're not going to be in the playoffs. Like
Right.
that's under 500. I think I'm with you on the under, but it's really really close. I think I'll take the under on it and imagine a world where a lot of their starting pitching does not make it through the season and they're relying on their depth, of which they don't have very much. So
Yeah.
finally, the Washington Nationals last year, their numbers sat at 60 and a half, and they actually went over and won 71 games. So it was pretty impressive what they did last year. The number this year is 66 and a half.
I'm gonna go over.
Okay.
I do like some of the moves they made. Look, Joey Gallo and Eddie Rosario are not guys who are going to win a championship, but they're quality veterans who know how to play the game and can help, at least, steer these young kids do something good. So, I still think they'll finish last in the division, but I think they can go slightly over that.
66 and a half. Yeah, I would root for the over here. Although I just don't know that their pitching staff is worth a damn. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know who their 4 and 5 starter are beyond
Roster Resource
Corbin.
has Jake Irvin and Trevor Williams.
Okay, so I do know Trevor Williams, and I guess Jake Irvin's a human who has limbs and throws baseballs.
Yeah,
Um,
that's definitely their downside. I mean, they have some guys coming up, Jackson Rutledge, but like, yeah, I mean, and even Patrick Corbin is still in this rotation, like,
mhm. Oh, he
so
will be forever because that contract is just never going to end, and they're just going to keep paying him like $35 million a season to be the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball.
yeah,
He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. All right, I'll take the under on the Nationals. That team is going to be bad. That team's going
okay.
to be bad. We move to the NL Central, and interestingly enough, the St. Louis Cardinals have the highest number, but all 5 of these teams are within 10 games of each other.
I'm not surprised.
So last year, the Cardinals over under was 88 and a half. Of course, they very, very disappointingly shit the bed last year and only won 71 games. So interestingly, the number's back to 85 and a half.
Oh, that's tough. because right, you want to say over because this team is better than that, but are they? Because they just show that they aren't. And again, it's mostly the same guys. If anything, it's less than what they had last year. Like
The rotation is not great. It's Michaelis, Gibson, Lynn, Sonny Gray when he comes back from injury,
Steven
and
Matz.
Steven Matz. Oh man. Oh, that's not good. This could
Yeah,
be another long summer in St. Louis, man.
yeah. I don't know that they'll be as bad as they were last year, but I have to go under.
Okay. I'm gonna go under as well. I just think the number is too high. I think it's too high for them. I think they're gonna be like right around 500
Yeah,
at best. I
yeah. I
just
can
don't
like
I
like
just don't like this pitching staff at all.
I can see maybe 82 is like their ceiling.
Yeah. The Brewers, who won the division last year with 92 wins, crushed their over of 85 and a half. This year, they have taken a step back and their number is 77 and a half, which is the same as the Marlins.
Wow. Okay. Uh, I will take I will take the over. Their pitching is not good. As for Freddie Peralta, it's a bunch of nobodies.
Mhm.
DL Hall maybe is somebody who could in the change of scenery, but but they have a lot of young kids that in this offense that I think can at least carry them to some sort of respectability. And again, in this division, like it's not out of the question that they win the division again.
It's going to be a very young team this year in Milwaukee. And between Jackson Churio, Joey Ortiz, and a couple of other young kids, they're going to have to rely heavily on a youth movement to get them through this season.
And again, we talked about it in previous ranking shows, but probably the biggest wild card for them is not having Craig Counsell.
Exactly. I think all of that points to an under. And I think this team could finish dead last, but we shall see.
Wow, you think they finished behind the
The
Buccos, huh?
Pirates? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's possible. I think that's possible. You'll be surprised what their number is compared to the Brewers.
Okay.
Let's talk about them right now.
All
Hell,
right. Let's do
the
it.
Pirates last season won 76 games and crushed their over of 68 and a half. You were shitting on them all preseason. I remember this distinctly. The number is 75 and a half. It's only 2 games behind the Brewers.
I want to see. I'm trying to. I want to see what they did like in the second half because they I know they got off to like a really hot start. Like they did really good in April,
Yeah,
and
they had a
then
20 win. They had a 20 win April.
yeah,
So they only
and
won 56 games the rest of the season.
yeah. So like yeah, for the first half they went 41 and 49. Second half they went 35 and 37.
I mean, that's fairly close to 500, man. Like it's 8 under and what, 3 under?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they have O'Neal Cruz back,
Mhm.
for if they can have him for a full season, the pitching is
Rowdy
not.
Telez is playing first base. He gets opportunity,
The pitching is not good.
but it's professional. It's Marco Gonzalez who's going to eat innings. It's Martin Perez who's going to eat innings. It's Mitch Keller who's like kind of okay.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
3. Like
but what happens when they trade David Bednar at the deadline? Like, then
then
what?
Colin Holderman takes over because he throws 100.
I guess they do have Aroldis Chapman too, but he'll probably
Yeah.
he'll be
He'll
traded
probably
too.
trade him too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What was the number?
75 and a half. It's only 2 lower than the Brewers. I'm taking the over, man.
Nah, I'm gonna go under. I don't.
Under.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be as bad as we thought they were gonna be last year, but I can't see more than 75 wins from this team.
All right. The Chicago Cubs last year had an over under of 77 and a half, the same number as the Brewers this year. And they crushed it. They hit 83 last year. The number now is 84 and a half.
Mm. I I want to say I like this team. Like, again, it's pretty much the same guys. They took away Marcus Stroman
Mm-hmm.
and added Shota Imanaga.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can, you know what? I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna take the over.
Taking the over. Are they winning the division?
We'll get to the Reds. I'd love to see
Yeah.
what the Reds number is at, because that's the wild card. I think they could. I think they could.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the over on this team as well. I do like a little bit of their pitching staff with Justin Steele and is Hayden Wisniewski supposed to be in their starting rotation?
He's battling for the fifth spot with like Jordan
Mhm.
Wicks and a couple other guys.
Okay.
Um, but also the wild card we just mentioned, they have Craig Counsell now. So like,
Mhm.
I think that's a big thing. So we'll see.
All right. The Reds sitting at 81 and a half. They won 82 games last year, and that crushed their over of 65 and a half.
Damn.
So 81 and a half, are they a 500 baseball team or better?
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay.
I I mean they have all these. They have, even with Marte now being suspended for half the season, like that's not going to hurt them because they have so many other guys that can fill in. Like,
Hmm.
um, the pitching isn't awful. It's not
Yes, it
great.
is.
I don't think
Yes,
it's
it is.
awful.
It's awful.
There's worse out there. I think the Pirates is worse.
Montas and Asshat are two of their starters, dude.
Yeah, I would take them over Marco Gonzalez and Martin Perez.
Maybe. Maybe.
And I tell you what, Andrew Abbott, I had him in the bigs for a while last season, and
Hmm.
I liked what I saw from him. He's the number 5, but I think by the end of the year he could be the number 2. So I'm definitely taking the over here.
I like the infield. The outfield is a little bit meh for
Yeah.
me, you know. Um their rotation is ass, dude. Their rotation is absolute ass. And their bullpen is like Alexis Diaz and kind of a lot more ass. So I'm taking the under, but probably not by much. I think they're going to have like 79, 80 wins. Um, yeah. Yeah, I'll take the under there.
So what's your prediction in the order of this division?
I'll go Cubs, Cardinals, Reds, Pirates, Brewers.
Interesting. Okay. Because I feel
Yeah.
like of the 3 divisions in the National League, I feel like this is like the most, and like you said, everything is within 10 games of each other, right? I feel like this is the most like volatile, like anything could happen division in the National League.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we move over to the National League West, where the largest number in baseball exists for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Last year, their number was 95 and a half. They won 100 games and smashed the over. The number this year, biggest in the league, 103 and a half, over or under.
I mean, the logic says over, right? Because like they have Shohei and they have Yamamoto and they have Freeman and they have, a million MVPs on this team.
Mhm.
I just wonder, like, I don't love the depth in this team. So like, God forbid something happened to Freddie Freeman. Like, I feel like they're gonna be like, shot in the foot. Um, I'll take the over, but I don't think it's gonna be like 111 win season or something like that. I think it'll be close to the number there.
Yeah, I think 107 is fairly safe.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
think
like
that's
that.
I'll take the over on that. I'll
Yeah.
take the over on that. The San Diego Padres, one of the most disappointing teams last year alongside our New York Mets,
Hmm.
failed to live up to their 93 and a half they had last year. All of us had the over and them finishing first in the division. They won 82 games. Good job, us.
We know baseball.
We do. So the over under this year is 81 and a half, same number as the Cincinnati Reds.
So are they a 500 team? On paper,
On
yeah,
paper, they're stacked with stars and scrubs.
yes, yes. There's nothing in between because like even the rotation, okay, it's Musgrove and then Darvish, and then it's like Michael King and Johnny Burrito and Matt Waldron. Like,
Yeah, the dudes they got for Soto.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then in the lineup, like it's 1 through 5, Tatis through Kim, and then after that, it's just I mean Jackson Merrill, I guess maybe becomes something.
He might be a thing. He might be
Yeah,
real.
yeah. Um, I'm gonna take the over because I just feel like there's still too much talent on this team for them to be under 500. Obviously, they're not winning the division, but I think they're better than a 500 team.
Every year this team disappoints us. Every single year this team is like just aggressively average. Like very aggressively average.
That's a
I
great way
think
to
they're
put
going to
it.
fall short again this year. I think I'll take the under on them. Finally, I think the hype is over with the Padres. They're going to have a bad season and something's going to change there. Something big, like maybe AJ Preller finally loses his job. You know,
Possible.
something like that.
Yeah.
The San Francisco Giants last year had an over under sitting at 81 and a half. They failed to live up. They had 79 wins last year. The number this year, 82 and a half.
I'm gonna go under. Um, I like some of the moves they made. I know they brought in Chapman and Soler and Lee. So the
Mm-hmm.
lineup is definitely better, but I don't know. I don't think that they're better than the Padres. I don't know. Are they better than the Padres? Like,
I think they're better than the Padres, man.
but like it's Logan Webb, maybe a Jordan Hicks, and then what? Kyle Harrison?
Kyle Harrison is a guy. He's a
Yeah.
person.
Keaton Wynn, like,
But it's the
and like,
Giants. They just do that.
yeah,
They're the Rays of the National League.
yeah. I mean, they have a bunch of guys on the injured list. Like
Yeah.
the whole rotation's on the injured list practically. All right, fine. I'll go over.
All right. Come with me on the over. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
We'll root for the Giants this year. Let's go. The National League champion Arizona Diamondbacks won 84 games last year, crushing their 74 and a half over or under from 2023. This year, not as much respect for the reigning pennant winners. 83 and a half. That's worse than the Cubs. That's worse than the Phillies.
Wow.
It's one game better than the Giants.
Wow. That is interesting because I was afraid you were gonna say like 90, and I'm gonna be like, shit, I don't know. Um, so it's 80, 83 and a half.
83 and a half.
Yeah, I think they're over. Why not? I don't think they did anything to hurt this team. Um, if anything, I think they got better. They brought in, guys like Jock Peterson, Eugenio Suarez, and
It's a lot
and
of
whoever.
strikeouts.
What?
That's a
Strikeouts.
lot of
Yeah, yeah,
strikeouts.
but there's power in this lineup now.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
didn't really have
Randall
before.
Grichuk is also the other side of that DH platoon.
Yeah, if he's healthy enough.
Yeah.
But like they have enough like young guys coming up. They have Seawald as a stopper. They have a great bullpen. Yeah, I take the over on that.
Okay. I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you. I think they finished second in this division, and
Yeah,
I think they're playoff bound again.
yeah, I agree.
I think they're a good team. All right, Jason, your hometown Colorado Rockies.
All right,
Last year they won 59 games, which is far
bad.
worse than their 65 and a half over under last year. So, are they going to have a better season than last year because the number's 59 and a half?
um, yeah, I don't think it can be worse. I mean, I guess it can be worse, but I don't think it will be worse. They're definitely finishing last in the division, and they're going to be awful. But I don't think it's going to be worse than 59 wins.
I think it can be. I think they're the A's of the National League. I think they're not great. You like certain pieces on this team, like Tovar and Jones, right?
I do, and give me a bounce back on Chris Bryant. You know, if he's healthy, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I wish that like Charlie Blackmon would just go away because like I'm done with that. Um, but and let let this kid Montero play every day, give him the DA's job. But
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, I like certain pieces on this team. Brenton Doyle might be something real too. Obviously, the pitching is always going to be the question mark. That's how it is here. Um, but like, so what? I'm not saying they're going to win 75 games. If they win 65, that'd be something to write about. So
They wouldn't lose
I still think
100
it's
at that point. Yeah.
I still think they're an over. I just don't think they're going to be very good.
Yeah, I guess they could lose 100 games and still hit the over on this. All right. All right. Let's root for the Rockies over this year, buddy. Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it. For what it's worth, Frank is also rooting for that over. Let's go. Let's go. All right. That'll cover the NL teams so far. Now, here's where I want to hear about your MVP, Cy Young, Comeback Player of the Year, and Rookie of the Year. Who do you have it for your MVP of the National League?
MVP guy who almost won it this past year. I'm gonna go Mookie Betts.
Okay.
The Dodgers only got better, and now he's gonna be the shortstop for now. He's gonna go back to second base probably at some point, maybe back to right field. He like the guy plays everywhere, and he hits. And as long as he keeps hitting the way he's been hitting, give this guy the MVP already. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, it took a 40-70
Yeah.
season out of Ronald Acuna to not have him be the MVP last year. Interestingly enough, I'm taking Shohei Ohtani for the MVP,
Yeah.
and Frank has Freddie Freeman. So
It's coming from the Dodgers.
we like the Dodgers this year.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Who is your Cy Young, sir?
Not from the Dodgers. I'm going with a guy who I think he's 34 years old, so he's a little on the older side. But give me Zach Wheeler. Um, they locked him up to in the extension, so now he's got nothing to worry about. He can just go out there and just do what he does. He's been really, really good over the last 3 seasons. I don't see why he can't be a little bit better and take home a Cy Young award.
Zach Wheeler of the Philadelphia Phillies. I have division rival Spencer Strider taking home his Cy Young this year. I think he's
I'm sure
gonna.
Frank
I
does
think
too.
he's gonna push. I think he's gonna push 300 strikeouts at this
Yeah.
point. Like, I think he's gonna be a guy to do that. Frank also has Spencer Strider. So surprising.
I'm shocked.
Comeback Player of the Year in the National League, Jason Ashby.
This time I am going back to the Dodgers. I like Walker Bueller. I like Walker Bueller for bounce back. We talked about him in the starting pitching show. Um, I don't know when I don't know if he'll be ready for opening day, but even if it's a couple of weeks after, if he can be out there for the whole season, and throw 150 innings or something like that, like we know what he's capable of doing. So if he's healthy, give me him for bounce back.
Yeah, I'm literally seeing the number 165 in my head going, yeah, if he could throw that, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would be wonderful. Frank agrees with you. He's got the Walker Bueller bounce back as well. I decided not to go with the chalk pick there. Go ahead and give me Chris Sale for a bounce back this year from Atlanta.
Okay. I like
Finally, finally, rookie of the year. Frank went with Paul Skeens. I'm not sure that he's going to even break camp with the Pirates, but we'll see.
he's already he's not breaking camp, but he may come up, at
He
some
could
point.
come up. Yeah,
Yeah,
if they're racing for something, they might bring him up. So we shall see. I've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto
that's
as my rookie
exactly
of the
who I
year.
have.
Yeah,
I almost had Jackson Churio, and I was like, yeah, but Yamamoto is a rookie too, and I think this kid is just unworldly. So
yeah, yeah. All right, we will move over to the American League East. And in the AL East last year, the New York Yankees had an over under of 94.5. All four of us had the under. We did not think this team was going to be good. They won 82 games.
Hey, we know baseball.
We do. We're pretty good at this. But now they've got Soto and Verdugo and Stroman and a healthy Rizzo and another season of Volpe,
Another season of Rodon.
another season of Rodon. Their number is 94.5.
Under.
Under from Jason Ashby.
They still may win the division, possibly, but I don't like 95 wins for this team. I don't like Mayhew. I don't like Stanton. I don't like Rizzo. So I mean, there's enough pieces here that they can win some games. I just don't think it'll be 95.
Yankee fans, we're both on the under this year. I'm not liking it either. I can't count on Aaron Judge to stay healthy. And if I can't count on Aaron Judge to stay healthy, then I can't count on this team to win that many games. Juan Soto can carry a team. Spoiler alert, he's my MVP this year. But you guys could win 90 games, get a wild card, and still go under this number, and it's still an okay season. Frank also has the under on this, by the way. The Toronto Blue Jays won 89 games last year. That fell under their 91.5 over under from 2023. This time, 87.5.
And again, I guess it's not mostly the same team, but it's all the main parts are still there. Springer, the Bichette, Vlad. We swapped Justin Turner for Brandon Belt. Essentially, it's essentially what it is. Lost Matt Chapman.
Put IKF in his place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's under. I like this team, but I see maybe like 85 wins happening.
You remember a few years ago when them and the White Sox were the two teams who were like, "Ooh, they're going to be so good in a few years." Neither one of them did shit. Every year we think, "Ooh, the Blue Jays are going to be so good this year." And they haven't done shit. It's under. It's under by a lot.
It's sad because, like, again, they have so much talent on this team on both sides of the ball. They just can't win games.
Yeah. The Tampa Bay Rays last year won 99 games that crushed their over-under of 88.5. 1 year later, it's 84.5.
Don't love the pitching, don't love the offense, but I think they always find a way to do it, right? What'd you say it was? 84.5?
84.5.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that.
Yeah, I'm also going to hit the over on this. I think the number's a little low and it's disrespecting the Rays as a team. Like, I think as an organization, I think they're going to be able to weather the storm of not having Wander Franco ever again.
Yeah.
And just continue on.
I don't know if it's 90 I don't know if they get to 90 wins, but I think they're better than 85.
Yeah, they could win 88. They could win 88 games.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, finish third in the division and fight for the second or third wild card.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Orioles won 101 games last year that paced the American League, crushing their over-under of 76.5. This year, they're like Rodney Dangerfield. They don't get any respect. 89.5 is the number.
89, yeah. Gotta be over.
Give me that over all day.
Yeah.
All day, give me that. It's a 100-win team.
They got now they got Corbin Burns to anchor this rotation. Absolutely.
Yeah. Give me this all day. This team is loaded top to bottom. You're going to give me Jackson Holiday as a rookie of the year. You're going to give me Adley Rutschman in that lineup. You're going to give me Gunnar Henderson and Anthony Santander on a walk year. Yeah, that team is loaded. Give me 100 wins for those guys, and they're going to win the AL East.
Yep.
Finally,
100%.
the Boston Red Sox. They won 78 games last year somehow. And that was the over under. It was 78 and a half. So they fell just under. This year, one game fewer, 77 and a half.
Oy. Um, I do like this lineup for the most part. I don't know what a Sedani Rafaela and Emmanuel Valdez can do, but the rest of it is pretty nice, especially if Story is back to full health. Um, the pitching is not fun to look at, especially now with, there's no Giolito, there's no Sale. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna say, maybe they're like a 70, 75, 74, 75 win team, but they're gonna have a rough time in this division.
Yeah, and this pitching does not really scream out that anybody in that rotation can stop a losing streak.
Right.
There's really not like Nick Pivetta and Brian Bayo are not it, man. Those are 3 and 4 guys at best.
Right.
I'm taking the under as well here. I just don't think that this team is going to be all that great. I think they're going to slug their way to a lot of wins,
Yes.
but I'm not. I'm just not feeling the pitching staff.
They'll win like a lot of like, 12, 10 games or something.
Yes, yes. 4 teams in the American League Central are within 6 games of each other here. First, we have the Cleveland Guardians at 79 and a half after last year going 76 wins and falling very short of their 86 win over under. 79 and a half is the number, Jason.
And again, it's mostly the same team, but now they have Tristan McKenzie back. He made like 4 starts last year, so that's big. Um, I still like this team. I like Jose Ramirez. I like Andres Jimenez, Stephen Kwan. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go
You're going to
over.
go over.
Yeah,
You have them finishing above 500 and fighting for a wild card?
yeah. In this division, absolutely. I mean, anything can happen in this division, but I think
True.
they have enough pieces to make it happen.
I'm a little concerned about this offense as I am every single year with this team, and they always seem to not bring anybody in to help Jose Ramirez and end up in the bottom third of the league in run production. No, thank you. I'll take the under. I think this is going to be a bad team. I don't think they're going to be horrible, but I think they're going to be a bad team.
Yeah. What was you said it was what was the number?
79 and a half.
Yeah, I could see like an 83, 84 win season.
Okay. Okay. See, I could see them only winning like 72, 73 games.
That's certainly possible too. Like
Yeah.
again, this division and probably even more so this team is like is all over the spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah. The Chicago White Sox won 61 games last year. That was awful from their 83 and a half over under last year. We crushed it. 3 of us had the under. Somebody had the over. The White Sox 63 and a half this year, Jason.
63 and a half. Good
So are
God.
they gonna lose 100 games or not?
Um, Gosh, I'm looking at roster resource and their closer options right now are David Garcia, whatever Jordan Leisure is, Dominic Leone, our former friend, and Jesse
Mhm.
Chavez. Those are their closer options.
Yikes. Yikes.
Um, the offense, if the offense can finally figure it out, if Lubob and Mancada and Eloy can stay on the field, maybe there's something there. I'm going under. I'm going under. This team is not good.
This is a very, very bad team. Hopefully they move Dylan Cease at the deadline for some more
Yeah,
pieces. They have a shortstop prospect on the way, Colson Montgomery, so maybe he'll be able to help them out. But I mean, they got Paul DeYoung playing shortstop in the year of our Lord 2024. I mean, it is not a pretty sight on the south side of Chicago. I'm taking the under as well.
yeah.
Division winner Minnesota Twins won 87 games last year. They hit their over of 83 and a half. This year, it sits right back at that same number, 87 and a half. So are they better than they were last year or not?
Whew. Um, God, this is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think by virtue they have to be because I don't know that anybody else in this division is better than them. Um, yet. So I guess I'll take the over, but like by a half a game. Like
So
just
they
over.
win 88 games this year and
Yeah,
win the
like
division.
yeah, because I mean it's essentially what they did last year. Um they're good enough if they can get a full season back from Buxton and Royce Lewis, like
Mm-hmm.
that's not nothing. Pablo Lopez, can anchor this rotation. Joe Ryan is okay. He's good enough. Um yeah,
Bailey Ober is a person, like he can be good.
yeah, it's not great, but in this division, I don't think you need to be great.
I think I have to take the under on this, man. I think the under just is I think it's just a little bit too high. I think they could still win 85 games and hit the under, but still have a respectable season. They can fight for a wild card because I don't think they're winning the division.
Okay.
The Detroit Tigers won 78 games last year, which crushed their over of 68 and a half. This year, their number's the exact same as the Guardians, 79 and a half. Are they better than the Guardians or not?
Huh. Um, yeah, I guess they can be, right? If Riley Green, if these guys take a step forward, Riley Green and Torkelson, Colt Keith could be rookie of the year. Javi Baez, I don't know what the fuck to make of Javi Baez. He's still around, huh?
He's still
Um,
around making $30 million a year. It
But and
is
then the
the
pitching, like
worst.
again, it's a pitching, it's a question mark. Can Scooble stay healthy? Can Flaherty stay healthy? Can Maeda stay healthy? Matt Manning, and so there's a lot of injury questions there. But if they're on the field, they're super talented.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take the over. I don't think that they're better than the Guardians because I had the Guardians at like 83, 84 wins. I could see them at more like an 82 win season, which would still beat the over. So I'll take the over, but I don't think that they're better than the Guardians. I see them finishing third.
Don't sleep on the Tigers. Give me the over. Give me the over by about 10 wins and having them win the division.
Damn, you think they're ready, huh?
I think they're ready. I think this is the team that's going to take the Central and be the surprise team that gets knocked out fairly early. But like, this is a team that's on the rise, and I've got them this year doing big things. Spencer Torkelson for 35 homers and 100 RBIs. Riley Green's going to set the world on fire, go 2020 this year. I really, really like the Tigers this year.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all for it. Like I'd love to see it. I feel like maybe they're a year away.
Speaking of a year away, the Kansas City Royals, 56 wins last year. That was awful. It did
That's
not
the worst.
even.
No, I guess it's not the worst.
No, it is not.
No, it's
No, it
not
is not.
the
The Kansas City Royals had a 69 and a half over under last year. They fell well short of that with their 56 win season. This year, they're getting some respect and some helium here. 73 and a half is the number.
because of Bobby Witt. Yeah, 73 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're definitely better than the White Sox. Um,
Yeah.
look, can they be better than the Guardians? Like, I,
Yeah, I think they can.
I think they can be, right? I'll take the over on the Royals. I like what they're doing. I like the
Let's
Royals.
root for the Royals this year. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Royals over. I like Vinny P to have a good year this year.
yeah.
Somebody has to. Hunter Renfro's there, so he's a 30 homer dude.
Yep. yeah, please, MJ Melendez, take a step forward. Like I'm waiting for him to just
Mhm.
bust out and not become like just another guy. Like let's do something real this year.
Yeah, and a nice season from Sal again would be great.
Yep. And I think the big question is Cole Reagan's for real? I think
Yeah.
that's the big question.
Yes. Is he the ace of this staff, or is he just another number 3 or 4 that's in this rotation?
Right. The Bracingers and the Brad Kellers and yeah.
Seth Lugo and Michael Waka were their off-season signings. So,
Yeah, yeah. And
I mean, I guess Lugo could be a 2 if you
yeah,
squint really hard.
they brought in, not the rapper, not the catcher, but the reliever Will Smith to
Uh-huh.
kind of shore up the bullpen. So like to kind of co-close with James MacArthur. So
Mhm.
sure, why not?
Yeah, let's root for the Royals this year. Let's do it. All right, moving on to the AL West. Division winner Houston Astros won 90 games last year. That was nowhere near their 95 and a half over under. So this year, 93 and a half
Oof.
over under.
Ugh. Um, I really like this team. I don't like Jose Abreu, but everything else about this team just screams winners. I'm gonna take
I
the over.
like Jose Abreu for a bounce back too.
It's possible. At 37, I don't know what you're going to get for a bounce back, but I mean, it can't be worse than what he did last year.
Right. He's going to be like Yuli Gurriel. He's going to be that older dude who just hits and drives in runs when it matters. He still had 90 RBIs last year.
Yeah, because he hits in the middle of one of the best lineups in baseball.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's not ever going to be a nothing.
yeah,
If he got
yeah,
his batting average up to 260, we'd be saying, "Oh my god, this is wonderful."
yeah. That's what he's project. Fangraphs projects a 262. So yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
I'll take that. 20
Yeah,
homers and 90 RBIs. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
down for that in the late rounds.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take the over.
Yeah.
There's not a weakness at this team,
No. No.
and like even
Their
without
bullpen is
Verlander.
stacked. Their rotation is great. Their offense is stellar.
Yep.
They play in a very competitive division, so I don't think they're going to annihilate this number, but I'll take the over. I think I'll take 95 wins for this team.
Yep. I like it.
The world champion Texas Rangers also won 90 games last year, but due to a tiebreak, did not win the division. Their number last year crushed their over of 82 and a half. So this year, the world champions get 88 and a half.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The pitching is obviously the big question mark here, especially, when and what are you getting from DeGrom, Scherzer, and Molly? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now Nathaniel Lowe is going to start the season on the injured list. Corey
Mm.
Seager as well. Um, the offense is still good. I could see them still winning 90 games. Could I see them winning 90 games? No, I can't. I'm gonna go under.
Under for Jason on the world champs.
Yeah, I still think they'll be respectable, like 87 win team, but I don't think they'll win 90.
Yeah, I think they're just going to kind of patchwork the rotation together for the first half of the season until they get these guys back. And then hope to go on a run to get a wild card again and go on to the playoffs. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the under with you there, man. I tend to agree with you that they're not quite as good as they were last year, especially with those missing pieces.
Yeah, and like they're relying on a lot of young guys who have talent, but Evan Carter and Josh Young and Wyatt Langford and Justin Foscue, like there's a lot of young kids who don't have no real experience to speak from. So it's a lot to ask for.
Agreed. Agreed. The Seattle Mariners won 88 games last year, got a wild card berth, and that just nicked over their over under of 87 and a half. So it was so nice. They gave it to them twice. 87 and a half is the number again, sir.
Uh, boy. I've always liked this team. I've always liked the Mariners. I like what they're doing. With Julio Rodriguez in the lineup, how can you bet against them, right? Um,
Because everybody else around him is like a 6 or 7 hitter.
yeah.
Like every single dude is like
Roster Restart has Mitch Haniger hitting eighth. I don't think that happens. I have him hit fourth, not Mitch Garver. Like if so switch the Mitches. If Haniger is healthy, he's a 30 home run threat. Like
could be. Could be. I mean, he
um
did it once before in Seattle.
yeah,
I think he
yeah.
had almost 40 actually.
Yes. Uh, you know, Ty France, I'm starting to lose faith in Ty France. Um,
Yeah.
87, 87 and a half. Yeah, I don't think they'll be better than the Rangers. I guess I got to go under, but I love this pitching.
I think their pitching is going to keep them in a lot of ball games when their offense is just not going to produce. Because if it's not Julio, who the hell is it?
Yeah.
They lost Teoscar Hernandez and replaced him with Mitch Haniger, and that's a definitive downgrade.
Yeah, it definitely is. And
Who's playing left field for them?
it's a timeshare between Luke Rayleigh and probably like Dylan Moore or yeah,
Yeah, that's not good.
not good.
Is that better than Kelnick? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I
No,
don't think
I
so.
probably not.
I got to take the under on this.
Yeah.
All right.
It pains me to do it
Which,
because I love the Mariners, but I it's a shame.
all right. Do you want to do the bad team or the really bad team to finish this?
Let's do the bad team first.
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Orange, California won 73 games last year. That was nowhere near their 81 and a half over under. This year, 72 and a half. The Otani factor is a 9-game difference.
Wow. So what, 72 and a half, you said?
72 and a half. So will they win as many games as they did last year without Otani?
No. No, they won't. I don't think so. Sorry, Mike Trout. Rendon only wants to play 4 days a week, so fuck that guy. Um, the pitching is just Reed Detmers and a bunch of guys. Uh,
And Reed Detmers
so
is just a guy.
yeah, I, he's only 25, so I feel like maybe he can still take a step forward. And become like not a number. He's a number one de facto here, but I don't think he's a real number one. I think he's probably more of a number two.
Yeah, at best.
Yeah.
And right now, it's like, how much do I rely on you?
Yeah, and Carlos Estevez is still their closer. No, I'm going under.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on this one. It's under.
This
It's
is this is
probably
this
going to
is
be.
this is a 3-team division, like no question.
Yeah, yeah, and they're going to beat the ever living crap out of these two teams.
Yeah.
Even with a healthy Mike Trout, I think they go under this number. Uh hang on. It's 73 though. Like it's such a low number. All right. I'll take the over and root for a
Mm,
Mike Trout bounce back player of the year because that's my candidate, by the way.
okay.
Finally, the Oakland, soon to be Las Vegas Athletics won 50 games last year.
Oof.
They lost 112, which is nowhere close to their over under of 60 and a half. So for some reason, FanDuel has them at 57 and a half.
I know they're bad. I know they're really, really bad. Um, 57. Yeah, no, it's under.
It's under. It's under.
Yeah.
They're terrible. They are
I'm
absolutely
trying to
atrocious.
find a reason to say it's over, but it's not.
No, because I can only name about 3 dudes on that team. I really can't tell you who's playing shortstop for him. Is it Nick Allen?
It is Nick Allen. You mean you don't know Darrell Hernandez or
Nope.
Hoy Park?
Didn't he used to? He might have played on Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. All
You
right.
know who else is on this team is Miguel Andujar.
Oh wow, he's still got a job. Good for him.
Yeah, and he's raking in spring right now, actually.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Get it
but
done.
yeah, but
But yeah, it's under.
yeah,
It's
enough
totally
about them.
under. Yeah, they stink, and they're gonna stink for another couple of years,
Yeah.
probably for a long time. All right, MVP, Cy Young, comeback, and Rookie of the Year in the American League. Jason, we'll start with your MVP.
You mentioned him. It's Juan Soto.
Yeah,
I don't see. I'm trying. I'm trying to find guys to like just to be like, a little contrarian. So like maybe I make an argument for like a Bo Bichette or a Gunnar Henderson, but it's Juan Soto.
Frank will make the argument for Kyle Tucker.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
see it. I can see it.
yeah, yeah. He goes 30-30 or something ridiculous and has 120 RBIs somehow because he's hitting finally in the middle of that lineup
Yeah,
where he belongs.
and he plays a
Right.
stellar defense. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's a great pick.
Yeah, but I've also got Juan Soto for the reason we talked about. Like it's a walk year, he's gonna ball out and do amazing things.
Yeah.
Cy Young, I have Pablo Lopez because if you can't get on, if you weren't on the train years ago, you can't get on now. The train has left the station. This guy's winning a Cy Young this year.
I love it. He very well could. I just I don't I never had as much faith in him as you did, as you do, but I think he's a really great pitcher.
You have Corbin Burns as well as Frank
Yes, we talked about
saying,
that in the starting pitcher
Mhm.
show. I think pitching in Baltimore with that, in a walk year as well. Um, yeah, give me Burns all day.
All right. Comeback player of the year, Frank and I have the same in Mike Trout. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I like Mike Trout. I'm gonna go a little bit different, same position and say Byron Buxton.
Okay.
Because give me him on a healthy year. He just legged out two triples the other day in spring training. Like, if he's healthy, he's a 30-30 guy.
Sure. He can be. Finally, rookie of the year, we have Jackson Holiday. What
Yeah,
say you?
yeah. I wanted to do a Jackson with Churio, but Yamamoto was just too tempting of a pick. But
Yeah.
definitely Jackson Holiday. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on Jackson Holiday as well as Frank. Jason, this has been an incredible episode. I hope this is as successful as we were last year. Uh,
Because we know baseball.
we do know baseball. We do, in fact, know baseball. Thanks so much for being here, man.
Absolutely, sir. It's been a pleasure, always a pleasure, and I can't wait to get the season underway. It's so close I can see it.
1 week away from the draft, man, and tomorrow is State of the Bigs. So get ready for that
Love it.
return of Ben Nisman. Thanks, guys, so much for watching and listening. Until next time, guys, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the Bigs. We'll see you next time.